Hello and welcome to Toad Rolls Dice, where we're going to finally take a look at the Imperial Knights on Crusade. We are a couple of days late, and at time of recording it's pushing 10 PM UK time, and I'm hoping to get this out the same day. So it's going to be a later drop than normal time-wise, but we are behind, and I do apologise for that, but it's just been a bit of a week. But we're here now, so how about we just jump in? Imperial Knights on Crusade. Develop your pilots and upgrade their knight. I like the sound of that. An Imperial Knight isn't just a nobleman swanning about in a battle-sized war machine. It's a complex, symbiotic bond between a chosen pilot and the legacy of those who came before. Anyone who sits in the throne mechanicum must be judged and accepted by spectral vestiges of previous warriors. This is something that we saw in the Kill Lupercal. Read all about it in Assassinorum Kingmaker by Robert Rath. So that deals with it as well, because that's one of the more interesting things, certainly in the Kill Lupercal animation, where she's talking to the ancestors and the people who have been before, the Princep I think it was. Fascinating. I love that idea, and it's like a Ghost in the Machine vibe idea, that sort of thing. Yeah, really, really cool. So I actually like that as a narrative idea they're playing into this. This is great. In exceptional circumstances, pilots can move to a different knight chassis in exceptional circumstances, so it's not going to happen often. Especially when an armiger pilot distinguishes themselves enough to be granted a full-size Questoris knight. So in exceptional circumstances, pilots can move, especially when an armiger pilot levels up. Is it really that exceptional? The new Crusade rules in Codex Imperial Knights lets you track it all and will have your legendary pilots embark on perilous chivalric quests to earn further advancement. I really like this idea. There's obviously some lore behind it as well, but I think that this is, you take little war dog, little armiger, and level them up to be Canis Rex, basically. I think that's a brilliant idea. And alright, it might not be 100% lore friendly, but it'll happen. I'm sure there'll be instances and circumstances, but it also offers you incredible kit bash opportunity between these different knights. In addition to the regular way of tracking Imperial Knights units through the Crusade campaign, they can still earn battle scars and Crusade relics as normal. You'll also create a Pilot Crusade card each time a unit is added to your roster. Naturally, you have to give them a name, something suitably regal, and an alignment that narrows down some of their later choices. So here we have a couple of examples. This is the, what have we got? Name of pilot, assigned knight suit. We have the sworn alignment, so Questor Imperialis, Questor Mechanicus or Freeblade. The chivalric quest, there's 3 different ones there, and then a quest tally. Mastery, level of honor with 4 different chivalric quests, and then level of honor, there's 3 different options. You also have burdens, so a stain of dishonor, bonded in shame, or desperate for redemption, so there's positives and negatives to this. I like it. That's all you need to start out and begin questing. Making and completing sworn oaths is how your pilots grow into peerless warriors they're destined to be. You can pick 1 chivalric quest at a time, tasking you with accurately tallying marks across 3 battles until your final score is checked and the corresponding numbers of chivalric points are awarded. Just don't earn fewer than 4 though, or you'll be dishonoured and have to drop everything to regain your integrity. There are 4 chivalric quests to choose from, each of which rewards you for doing exactly the kinds of things you want to be doing anyway. Knocking out vehicles, killing characters, and muscling the enemy out the midfield. To rise high, the penance of victory even gives you points just for holding objectives. And if you're not doing that, you kind of deserve the dishonour. So we do get a look at that one. To rise high, the penance of victory. While this chivalric quest is active, at the end of each battle, add 1 to its tally for each objective marker you control. For each of those objective markers that is within your opponent's deployment zone, you gain 1 additional tally mark. So there's 3 tiers of rewards. Tally rewards 4 to 6 is level 1, 7 to 10 is level 2, and 11 plus is level 3. Don't know what that means just yet. Chivalric points are spent to advance pilot skills through their mastery, chosen when they get their first point allocated to them. Masteries are unique skills that slowly increase in power the more chivalric points are added to them. There are 8 to choose from, stars, 3 of which are limited to Questora Imperialis, Questora Mechanicus, and Freeblade alignments. So there's going to be a little bit of crossover then. They're taking an idea, like role-playing idea of your background counts and plays into something. That's exactly what they need to be doing more with Crusade. Including Mastery of the Clarion, which extends the range of bondsman abilities, and Mastery of Tuition, which grants other units on your roster bonus XP after each battle. So Mastery of the Clarion, we have 3 options: Truth's Voice, pilot of a Titanic unit only. Each time this unit uses its bondsman ability, it can select a friendly armiger unit that is within 18 inches of it and visible to this unit. Nuncio of Obligation, pilot of a Titanic unit only. Each time this unit uses its bondsman ability, it can select a friendly armiger unit that is within 24 inches of and visible to it, so it's boosting that range. And then Emissary of the Court, pilot of a Titanic unit only. Each time this unit uses its bondsman ability, it can select a friendly armiger unit that is anywhere on the battlefield and visible to this unit. Pretty nice. The other option we have Mastery of Tuition, Wise Mentor. At the end of each battle, if this unit gains any XP, you can select one other Imperial Knights unit from your Crusade army that survived that battle. The selected unit gains 1 XP. Martial Tutor. At the end of each battle, if this unit gains any XP, you can select up to 2 other Imperial Knight units from your Crusade army that survived that battle. The selected units gain 1 XP. Finally, Master at Arms. At the end of each battle, if this unit gains any XP, you can select up to 3 other Imperial Knights units from your Crusade army that survived that battle. The selected units gain 1 XP. So it's not gaining the amount of XP given to a unit, but extra units gaining that 1 XP, they're going to slowly grow in time. And it's going to help you curate and refine and hopefully reward your Crusade army as you go through these battles. I like that there's this idea of increasing the bond or sharing experience because they're leading from example. They are the head of the army. Everybody's paying attention to what they're doing and trying to emulate the great acts, let's put it that way. Narratively, this is all really nice. On top of all this, you still have the usual suite of Crusade relics, requisitions, and Crusade badges to earn. And if you pick the Hand of the Sacristan requisition, you can even swap out their knight for a brand new one. Okay, interesting. So Hand of the Sacristan, purchase this requisition when you add a new Imperial Knights unit to your Crusade force. Select one of your pilots with a level of honor that is esteemed or virtuous. That pilot's assigned Imperial Knights model becomes vacant, and a new model in the Imperial Knights unit becomes that pilot's assigned model. If the vacant Imperial Knights model is an armiger, the new Imperial Knights unit must be an armiger unit. Or if your pilot has a virtuous level of honor, the new Imperial Knights unit must be a Titanic unit. The new Imperial Knights unit gains 6 XP and gains the Blooded rank. There's a lot going on there, but basically from a certain level you can just go from an armiger to a Titanic unit. Or you can get a new armiger, which potentially removes battle scars for that pilot. I'd need to know more. There's a lot going on there, I think. Definitely interesting, definitely useful. So Codex Imperial Knights is up for pre-order right now. If you want to pre-order it, it should still be available across GW and all of your friendly local gaming stores. Knights players, Crusade players, anybody wanting to start Knights, what do you think? Because obviously this is more aimed at you than me. I am not going to be a Knights player. I have very little interest in playing Knights. But from a narrative angle, and as a lover of role-playing games, D&D on the tabletop, creating characters all the way through to Mass Effect, The Witcher, anything that gives you a character, some semblance of choice and leveling up and tailoring how your character interacts with the world, and also as they level, picking things that is going to make your time more enjoyable. I love all that side of things. This all sounds great. I like the idea of taking a pilot, leveling them up, moving them between knights, starting off as a lowly pilot and then becoming the head of this battle group potentially. I don't know if that would be a free blade thing or something else, but it definitely sounds like there's a good chunk of customization and things to do here. Maybe not a huge amount of options, as Crusade isn't what I would call a fully fleshed part of 40k 10th. They really need to do more of this. If I'm honest, this is where I think 40k as a game shines, and letting people create custom armies, custom characters, even if it is just a custom pilot that then grows as they build, that's the kind of thing they should be focusing on. I get that they want to do the esports kind of thing. I get that competitive is a huge thing, and that should still be a huge thing, and they absolutely should still cater to that. But I'd argue 80% of the player base, if not more, is more interested in this side of things, and I think we've started to see them flexing the narrative muscles in 10th. The last couple of narrative bits, Crusade previews and things that we've seen have been pretty good. Space Wolf stuff I love. When you look back at Codex Space Marines, which was, I think it was the second codex to release this edition, the difference between that and what they're doing in this last 6-month period has been huge. So I actually have quite high hopes with narrative and Crusade stuff in 11th. We'll see how that turns out. But I think this sounds great. Hopefully you agree with me. Let me know in the comments below if this is something that you're going to look to do, maybe as a current Knights player, or maybe if you're looking to get into Knights because of this Crusade stuff, because this gives you options that you would love to play and enjoy leveling up that pilot. Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this, please drop a like. If you're not subscribed, please do. It helps the channel enormously. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.